careful out there.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can I get my breath back in time? You'd have to give me a sec. I've been running around like an absolute dickhead because my daughter's been round. So I haven't even got the chat up yet. Oh, man. And now nothing seems to be working. I blame Jeff. Copy and paste. Paste, you bastard, paste. Come on, Jesus. Hiya, Steve. I'm not cold, mate. I'm roasting in this. But it was cold earlier. Can hear and see me. Thank you, Kirsty. Let's have a look who we've got in. Mandy, how are we? How are you doing? You alright? Carlin, now then, how you doing? Yes, it is very, very comfy, has to be said. What on earth is going on? Right, I'm definitely signed into Botrix. Botrix is signed into. Oof. I had one of them days today. I seem to say that, don't I, every time I speak to you. I've had one of them days. Because I probably much have. Botrix has correctly joined the channel. There you go, Mandy. You're alright. Yeah, I took my daughter out on Friday night, dropped her off in town. And on the way home, I curbed the car, curbed the wheel. And I was going a little bit. I was doing 30 mile an hour and cheap Chinese tyres pop. So it was knackered. And having one hand, only one hand that works, was a nightmare. So I had to get my niece's boyfriend, Phil, to come and put the spare on for me. Like I said to him, if the Brits can't do it, get a pole to come in and sort it out. And he did. And then today, Sunday of all days, I found a garage that could put a new tyre on for me. So I've managed to get that sorted. And it means that I could see my daughter and I can take her to college in the morning. But her timing is perfect as always. So I've been running around like an absolute dickhead trying to get ready for this while dropping her off. And also stopping for wine for me mum, because she wanted wine. And I'm a good boy like that. An English ANWB, what's that, Harry? Is that like the RAC or the AA? I am a member of the RAC. But I have to be a quarter of a mile away from my house, and it happened just round the corner. Because obviously I didn't take out the home start because I thought we had a mechanic who fixes everything for us, but he's I texted him last week and he's decided to hang up his spanners, unfortunately, to do something a little bit more suitable so he's got more time and a bit more money. Yeah, I ended up at the organisation that helps stranded cars. Yep. So, but fair play to him, he's looked after the family for about the last 20 years, so we can't really moan about it. Good luck to the lad. He's a very, very nice lad, and I hope he does great in the future. He deserves it, the amount of hard work he puts in. But yeah, I was made up with that today. And even better, when I got there and I was waiting for the fella to come out with the tyre, there was a little grey squirrel. I know we're supposed to have red squirrels here in the northwest, so we have to keep them apart from the reds. But it was a lovely little grey squirrel that seemed very, very playful and enthusiastic. Didn't seem overly arsed about the fact that there's people bouncing around and windy guns going off and cars getting, brought in left, right and centre. He was just dead happy bouncing around like a lunatic. So I put a little picture of him on the RDA Instagram earlier. I don't know if it was rabid, but I didn't get too close. It was close enough. All I was interested in was getting my car done as quickly as possible. And it was the same. I had the front tyres done about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it was one of them that burst, so I was pissed off. But I got a better one this time. No cheap Chinese shite. Got fairly cheap South Korean shite instead. And, there's someone round the corner. It must be a birthday or something. But there's just fireworks going off right in the centre. It's ridiculous. I told you about this, didn't I, last week? You only seen the red up in Innismon. The greys, obviously, they're not actually native to the UK. We should have red squirrels. I think the grey ones come from America, or the Americas at least. But they seem to be, because they're bigger than the reds, they eat more food, they breed quicker, and they tend to outperform the reds, and the reds are dying out in places all around the UK. Where we are, just down the road there, 5 miles down the road in Formby, there's a squirrel reserve, which is purely red squirrels. They have all the trees have like ropes strung between them to make sure that if the squirrel needs to cross the road, it doesn't have to go actually across the road and get hit by cars. Just go across the little rope bridges, which is brilliant. And there's a pine woods where you can go and see them. Absolutely lovely. Steve, you shot the grey squirrels. Did you shoot the deputy? That's what we want to know. Mandy, your sister has a grey that visits a garden. Is that a grey squirrel, or is that like a foxy middle-aged gentleman like Des Lynam? How did they keep the grey ones out the reserve? I think using Steve's method, by the look of it. I do believe if they're grey and they're seen anywhere near the place, they are taken care of. But if they don't, the reds will die out completely, and we'll have another species that goes. We can't afford to do that. Not good. Saf, how you doing, mate? Casper, how you doing? Sorry, some of these are just popping through really quickly, so apologies if I missed people off, but I'm still trying to get my breath back from running around like a dickhead after my daughter. But I'll get there. I had a feeling, I thought she was coming round to try and make sure she could jump on the stream. Thought that was a plan, to be honest, but obviously not. It was just to see me and the family, which is nice. Sheffield Wednesday lost. I have missed out again on another weekend of football. Cape Town City won, at least. That's good stuff. We like to see that. And bizarrely, Everton won again, away from home. Absolutely insane. The next home game is against Man United, which obviously I'll be there, and we will lose because I'm there. And I'm having no luck watching football recently. What we need is someone to start eating the grey squirrels. Yeah, we need a load of those doomsday preppers who will just disappear into the woods and eat, as long as they leave the red ones alone. What do squirrels taste like? Did they taste like chicken, or did they taste like nuts? Nutty. They've got a nutty flavour to them. Feyenoord won 1-0 against RZ, right? Again, I didn't see that. I know did FC20 win this weekend. Can't even speak English, how bad's that? Are grey squirrels tasty? They must taste like chicken. Everything tastes like chicken, doesn't it? According to the experts. The red squirrels are the strawberry. They are indeed the strawberry ones. You can imagine squirrels taste like rabbit. I've never tasted rabbit, but I can sort of imagine, just by looking at the type of animals that they are, they'd be quite gamey, wouldn't they? Kirsty's off to Google yet again. It wasn't worth watching, it was a boring match. Too many of them lately, although the Chelsea v Man City game was on earlier on here, and it was absolutely incredible. 4-4 that ended up. Jeez, what an absolutely amazing game. Andy, before you ask, yes, they probably taste like rat, and we don't know why you know these things. You've never tasted them. Grey squirrel is normally mixed with pigeon breast and rabbit in a game pie. There you go. I thought they'd be gamey. They look quite red. Squirrel tastes like a subtler version of rabbit, with some saying the flavour resembles a cross between rabbit and chicken. See, chicken's always involved for some reason. Everything tastes like bleeding chicken, with a hint of nuts, of course it is. The meat is sweet, light in colour and finely textured. It would taste like nuts because that's what they eat all the time, so part of the reason why some of the Scottish beef tastes so nice is because of what they eat up there. It's got a heathery taste to it. Have you never had rat before? Yeah, I don't think... I've seen... Is it Chinese have wind-dried rat? Fuck that, sky high. Not having anything like that. Mind you, they eat some weird shit over there anyway, don't they? Nah, swerve that, mate. Swerve it. Casper, you've barely seen squirrels there. Did you not have them at all? Why? Squirrels, are they... I don't know. Are they native just to a handful of countries, or do other places have them? I've seen Hadwick talking about hedgehogs, and that's another one. Not everywhere has hedgehogs, and it's bizarre. We have loads of them here. We have a massive hedgehog that seems to like the welcome mat that we have. It must be short-sighted and thinks it's a lady hedgehog, because every time we see it, it's trying to get it on, so to speak. Squirrels taste like dodo. Nobody would ever be able to tell you that they don't, so stick with that assertion. Right, so you do, but not many. Fair enough. They are boss little creatures. They look madly powerful. They look hench for a little thing. Proper little muscles on them. Had a week you work in Helmond, half a day, yeah, and the people there are known as cat and meppers, because they were so poor they ate cats for Christmas. Alright, cats look and taste like chicken. Yeah, everything does taste like chicken except chicken. It doesn't taste like anything. It is gone a little bit... yeah, it's funny you should say that. It is... I don't know. It's a bit like the iceberg lettuce of the meat world, isn't it? There's absolutely sod all to it, and yeah, it's ubiquitous. Hedgehogs are doing very bad this year. Most aren't heavy enough to make it through hibernation. Oh, that's a shame. They've got to put a lot of weight on, haven't they, to make sure that they're okay. And of course, if you see a hedgehog out in daylight, there's something wrong with it. It's ill. It needs help. Try and get it if you can. Put it in a box, make it comfortable, and go and see a vet or wherever you can. You can get a species of squirrel that is jet black. Of course, Kirsty. Of course, you're going to come up with the goth squirrel. That's what we want to see. We want to see goth squirrels everywhere. Never mind the reds or the greys. Get the black in there. Yep. Give the hedgehog some cat food if you have some. Yeah, and water as well, isn't it? Call the animal ambulance if you find a hedgehog during the day. Definitely. They need that. A few years ago, black squirrels made it over there. That's it. I'd never seen one of them, but I would love to see one. Everyone wants a black squirrel. Whoa, black squirrel. Bam a lamb. No milk for hedgehogs. Oh, yeah, water, no milk. People used to put milk out for them, but it's not good, is it? Not good at all. Got to be water. Poor hedgehogs. They are lovely creatures as well, aren't they? I mean, really boss little things. And if you see the young ones, the little gorgeous little faces on, they look like proper little babies. Prickly babies, but little babies. I like them. There are one natural predator that we have around here, hedgehogs. They are evil at times, though. You have to watch yourselves with them. Hedgehogs are pricks. Kirsty, your grandma would always put some food out at night for the hedgehogs to help get ready for the winter. That's what we want to see. Be nice to animals, be kind to them. We need to try and maintain the balance with animals. If you don't, things go knackered. Again, we've mentioned this before. Getting rid of the wolves from Scotland meant all the deer. The deer population exploded, and they just managed to eat everything in the sight. So now huge tracts of Scotland is completely bare, just rock and a little bit of grass, no trees. As soon as a sprout comes up from a tree, they're on it. Yep, the animal ambulance. Every region has to have one by law. There's a Twitter page for, I can't even remember what the name of it is, the deer ambulance, the Dieren ambulance in the Netherlands. Eating cats. That's the kind of thing, when you are absolutely pushed to the edge of survival, you will eat anything. Like I said, we moved to the Netherlands in 1982, and then just talking to some of the people that were around during the Second World War, they said they were living in fields eating poppy bulbs, tulip bulbs rather. Poppy bulbs are something completely different. That would see you through the winter, no problem if you had poppy bulbs. Now, tulip bulbs, just to see them through, because otherwise they'd starve. You needed to fill your stomach somehow. So if your fish outnumber you 300 to 1, you are swimming in fish, mate. They do look incredible, by the way. So Carl, you had a peacock that was eating your gooseberries and raspberries during the summer. Not good. Peacocks are boss though, aren't they? Of course, the males are the ones that are hugely coloured. We are show-offs, aren't we? As a species, any male is a show-off. Yeah, pre-World War II, people struggling between the wars, and then the Netherlands, of course, is quite a prosperous country now, so it should be fine. Yeah, we've got the RSPB and the RSPCA, the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, and the Royal Society for the Protection and Cruelty to Animals. Of cruelty to animals, rather. Yep. You don't like peacocks, they scream. I didn't know they did. Although the Screaming Peacocks does sound like a punk band, doesn't it? An LA punk band from the 80s. There's someone up in Ismon who breeds white peacocks. Oh, we have got to get this shit together. We need to have white peacocks and black squirrels together. Make that happen. I don't know, did they get on? The peacocks eat squirrels, the squirrels eat peacocks. If not, can we try and put them together? Throw an alpaca or two in there as well, and I'll be happy with that. This is what I've said before on these streams, that unlike other streams, we learn stuff every single time in these. But yeah, if you go through a world war, and I mean, obviously the UK went through a world war, but we were never invaded. If you come from a country that was invaded, it must have been absolutely horrific the way they were treated and what you had to do just to survive during those years. Like I said, when we moved in 82, there were some of the older teachers who were children during World War II, so they seen things, and the stories were horrible. Had a week your uncle bred white peacocks and sold them for massive amounts to sheikhs in Dubai. That would make sense. They've got the wedge, obviously, haven't they? Them oil barons, and they want something crazy like that bouncing around the house. The black giant squirrel is an arboreal rodent living in the forests of East Asia. They're one of the biggest squirrels in the world. And are also the biggest squirrel which can be found in Thailand. Ooh. That reminds me, when we first moved to Southport, I mean, it's only 20 odd miles away from Liverpool, but it felt like it was a million miles away. I'd come from a place where everyone had a Scouse accent to a place where people were proper Lancastrian. And there was an old farmer, a pig farmer, Walter the pig. And he said one day, I'm off on my holidays next week. I said, oh, brilliant, where are you going to? He said, Thailand. And I went, whereabouts? Bangkok? Phuket? I said, no, Galway. I'm going to Thailand. I went, all right, it's going to take a while to get used to this shit. But I got used to it. But yeah, Thailand. I'm going to Ireland. Egypt. Yeah. Living together in perfect harmony, side by side on my piano. That's what we need. Yeah. Peacocks are like chicken. They eat everything. Did he taste like chicken? No. Yeah, Eddie Izzard is convinced that everything on earth tastes like chicken. It's a stupid question. What does the animal ambulance do? Literally, Casper, if it's anything like the one here, it is. If you see an animal in trouble, you phone them up and they come and take it away and make sure it's all right. Yeah, that's like a normal ambulance. It does. Like I say, there's a Twitter account for a Dutch animal ambulance, and I see the posts quite a lot saying that they saved this animal and this animal. So, how do you might know? Is it funded by the government or is it done by donations from the public? How is the animal ambulance funded? Do we know? The peacock got the hose turned on it to get you away from your fruit. That's fair enough. At least it was only the hose, it wasn't a gun. That's what we like to see. You can tell it's a Foxtrot Oscar, but you don't need to blow its head off. But yeah, you need to protect your fruit. Like Tom and Barbara Good from The Good Life. There you go, the animal ambulance. It is like a normal ambulance. It'll take the animals to the vet or the wildlife centres or to a shelter. It'll just make sure that they're being looked after and getting the best care that they need. Which obviously the poor animals can't ring for an ambulance themselves, so it is down to us to look after them. And it's funded partly by the municipality with added gifts from the public. That's good. Again, it's the way it should be. Do you also give first aid? Yeah. I mean, we've got stuff over here. I don't know. I think the RSPCA and stuff like that, are they funded by charity? Seems to be everything that we actually need in this country has to be crowd-funded. Coast Guards. I know we've got the army type Coast Guard, but like the lifeboats and what have you, that would normally be under the Coast Guards in other countries, we have to pay. Has to be done by donations. And considering we're an island, it's stupid. I don't get that. If you're a small country with a small, I don't know, can't think of any off the top of my head, a small coastline, just a little bit of a coast, then fair enough. Get to pay for it by donations. When you're an island, I think that should be provided by the government. So there's no such thing as one in Denmark, an animal ambulance. Casper, if you're bored, maybe you can start one. You could be the first one. Go and save them. Parrots. They used to have a parrot in Jamaica Inn. It looked miserable, so tried to get it rescued and nobody was interested. That's horrible. There used to be one in, I think it was the Volunteer in Southport, which is an absolute shithole of a pub. That looked miserable as well, but anyone that was in there looked miserable. Garland, well done. Levelled up. That's what you like to see. You get lots of small birds to your feeder as well as woodpeckers. But last year a sparrowhawk took out one of the woodpeckers. Oof. Don't mess with them sparrowhawks. Jesus. They are heavy, them, aren't they? We get a few of them round here. More kestrels than anything like. But them raptors, man, they're gorgeous looking birds. Sparrowhawks, kestrels, eagles, anything like that. Look fantastic. Yep. You don't have anything like that there, but it does sound like a great initiative. It is. We need to look after these things. Like we said before on these streams, balance is everything. I say it in my videos about myself and getting better from the stroke, what have you. Everything you need to do should be a balance. I'm struggling with that balance at the moment. Jeez. Last week, I have fallen asleep on the sofa so many times because I am absolutely exhausted. And I don't realise I'm exhausted until it's too late. Friday was a really busy day. I had to do loads of stuff. And yeah, I was bollocksed by the end of it. So it's about getting that balance right. Hopefully I will get there. I've got a thing strapped to my leg at the moment as well, by the way. A monitor. This is the third time I've had it. Monitors my movement, how much I'm getting around and about the place, how much I'm exercising. I have to do a diary, what time I got up, what time I went to bed, what time I went to sleep, when I woke up, what time I got out of bed, did I have any naps during the day. So yeah, I've been loads of me walking. They'll be surprised just how much I do these days compared to what I used to. Done that when I was in the hospital, then 6 months later, and now 12 months later. Hopefully the results will go towards improving the way things get taken forward for other stroke victims. You get loads of dozy pheasants around there. One committed suicide in your greenhouse last year. We get loads of pheasants here as well. They are dozy creatures, aren't they? Yeah, who does look after the sick or injured wildlife? Or is that just something that the people in Denmark have to deal with themselves? Or peregrine murdered one of your blackbirds. It is the circle of life. Yes, boo, but also it is the circle of life. It is nature. And the peregrine falcons are peregrine falcons, not Falklands. Jesus. They are one of the most gorgeous looking birds out there. Stunning things. You get all sorts there, Steve. Yeah, I can imagine. Buzzards, kites, falcons, kestrels, merlin and sparrowhawks. It'd be the perfect, absolutely perfect country for that, wouldn't it? Flat, so you can see everything from mile after mile. Loads of little animals. Gorgeous, man. Yeah, start one up, Casper. We'll crowdfund you. And the Dutchies will tell you how to set it up. Definitely. Hunters are set pheasants free to shoot. Yeah. The same over here. We get loads of pheasant shoots. Horrible. Loads of corvids around there. The rooks roost up the hill from your house. Amazing. We've talked about corvids before on the stream. How really intelligent they are. Gorgeous looking birds, aren't they? But all of them, rooks, crows, magpies, blackbirds, all of them really, really stunning things and incredibly, incredibly intelligent. Kirsty, or a woodpecker that used to visit, and the noise of them pecking is loud. Never heard one, but I can imagine. Obviously, it would be, wouldn't it? Corvids are adorable, apart from the magpies who steal your eggs and chicks. Yeah. How do we keep leveled up as well? Well done, brilliant. Nederlanders, Dutchies, yeah. Gamekeepers, it's the countryside, yeah. I know there's been a few issues, hasn't there, with people shooting raptors, especially all around the country. They're not allowed to do it, but they are doing it. Some of the species that are dying out are being killed deliberately. There was a gamekeeper, I think it might have been round your neck of the woods, Steve, that was done, got caught on camera, killing some really, really rare raptor, and he ended up, I'm sure he went to jail. Yes, man, you better chat more, but don't forget, you're also way out in the lead. That's why it's not as quick for you levelling up. Garland, red kites near the campsite where you go to. When you were 13, you went to a wildlife park and was allowed to get a glove on and hold the red kite. Are they as heavy as they look? Because, I mean, they are stunning again. Red kites, there's a few of them around Liverpool. I know there's a fella who does, he's a photographer, so he does loads of pictures of the Liverpool skyline and the waterfront and things, and he always seems to catch red kites flying around the city, bizarrely. I didn't realise they were anywhere near the city, but they do come quite far in, don't they? They look massive as well, look heavy. Yep, it is a prison sentence now, as it should be. You can't just... It's the 2023, we can't be wiping species off the planet. Just, it shouldn't be allowed. And we do need to watch out for that balance. If everything's in balance, it works perfectly. If it isn't, then you end up with weird shit happening. Which is why those, is it lionfish, which should be Asian, are now taking over the Caribbean because they've got no natural predators, and it's just causing absolute bedlam. Imagine a woodpecker pecking away from you when you had a migraine. Yep. Or imagine being a woodpecker with a migraine. Good points. Good points. I wonder if they ever just get up one day and go, oh, do you know what? Fuck this shit. I've had enough of this. Anyone got any paracetamol? Yeah, them red kites are beautiful, aren't they? They are, I mean, genuinely gorgeous looking things, and a strange colour for a bird. Strange colour, but glorious. You think if anything was a raptor, or you want to blend into the background. Does red really blend into the background? Blend into the background even. Barnesy, how you doing, mate? Yeah, you don't want a wooden head either. Red kites are quite rare there. I would think they're quite rare in most places. There's a farm in mid Wales where a farmer puts out loads of rabbits and the kites flock. Right, it's a video on YouTube. I'll have to check that one out. I like that. So the scavengers, right? Not raptors, closely related to vultures. I did not know that. That would explain it. Then they don't need to really hide, do they? If they're just if they're scavengers. They used to have rescued birds of prey in Llandudno shopping centre. On display, not loose, obviously, yes. Can't be doing that. The seagulls are bad enough in Llandudno. We don't want massive birds of prey flying around either. Jeez. Creepy woodpecker fact from our resident Googleator. They have tongues that goes up and around the skull in a loop. It looks super weird. Oh, I bet it does. Woodpeckers are weird anyway. I mean, anything that does what they do, just away with it. Buzzards around there as well. Yep. Again, they're gorgeous things, buzzards. Amazing, aren't they? Birds, the different types that there are. There's, even like we're talking about corvids, there's not just 2 or 3 of them. There's absolutely loads of different little offshoots of them. Each one's got their own little specialised way of behaving. It's brilliant. Those seagulls, the ones in Llandudno are absolutely massive. The ones in Liverpool, seagulls and Liverpool pigeons are the cockiest little bastards on earth. Normally, if you walk near a bird, it flies off when you get within so many feet of it. Scouse pigeons don't give a shit. And the seagulls just stare you out all the time. As if they're putting the wings out. What, lad? What are you looking at? Mental. Kirsty, I'm presuming that's a slidey text. But Pacific Beethoven again sounds like a West Coast American indie band from 2000s. Might be because of Camper Van Beethoven. I remember them well. An antique shop in Sweden, so the cash register with a stuffed wolf inside. They had loads of stuffed giant birds. Even had an albatross. No, they are massive, aren't they? There's a peregrine nest on the Arndale sign to keep the pigeons away. Yep. And they will do. Don't like messing around with peregrines, do they? Pigeons are more vicious than the seagulls. Pigeons have evolved to be... Pigeons are those knobheads that you see on street corners. Young lads, all dressed in black, North Face, spitting everywhere with their hands down the front of the trousers, aren't they? That's what pigeons are. Calling each other lad every couple of seconds. Hey lad, what lad? Me lad, yeah lad, you lad, what lad? Nothing lad. Susan, how you doing? My good friend from Las Vegas. Only talking the other day, weren't we? I've known you for 14 years now. Seems to have flown by like just dink like that. The slidey writing thing seems to prefer Dutch more than English. It would do. I think slidey writing would fit in perfectly with Dutch because a lot of Dutch makes no bleeding sense when you look at it. Although I'm still doing well on my Duolingo. I've done pretty well on that recently. It's making more sense, so it must be working. And I'm starting to add words together much better. You have a bolshy wood pigeon that chases off the magpies in your garden. That's what you want to see. We've got a wood pigeon who, well, did have a wood pigeon that lived sort of next door to the house. I'm sure it used to sound like it was a Scouse wood pigeon, which used to go, "You dirty, you beast." I've got it on a short somewhere. I'm sure I have. Aberystwyth, again, a word that will send my dad's blood running cold. Aberystwyth. When he played for Wrexham, he used to do pre-season training there, running up and down Murder Hill, and everyone was vomiting by the end of it because it was just an absolute nightmare. But that's the kind of stuff that gets you fit, I suppose. If I'm missing anything, I do apologise, but the chat is just going all over the place at the moment, unfortunately. I'm doing my best. Yes, we Brits do have tons of foxes. We'd have a lot more as well if it wasn't for posh wankers on horses blowing the faces off. Horrible, horrible bastards. No need for that. If you need to kill something, kill it. You don't need to chase after it for miles and then have a pack of dogs rip it to bits. If that's what gets you off, then you need a slap. Yeah, how's the Duolingo going, Kirsty? You getting there? My Duolingo is still a bit weird at times. They haven't thrown as many turtles in lately, but yeah, some very weird shit. Hugh Jackman has a house about 15 miles from you. Did not know that. Yep, you've got a fox den about 5 minutes away from you, Kirsty. They do seem to be. They were country animals, foxes at one point, weren't they? Don't give a shit anymore. They're just everywhere. You're not confusing me. The Dutch aren't confusing me. Duolingo is confusing me with some of the stuff they put in there. It's very strange, but it's the sentences will make sense. Sort of, I don't know, structurally make sense. If not, what they're talking about makes sense. But strange. Foxes are much more rare there in the Netherlands than the rest of Europe. The foxes seem to be quite a resilient kind of creature. They get everywhere and they will just do what they need to do to survive. You almost bought a house in Abergwyngeregyn. I could have almost been brought up speaking Welsh. I can't even get halfway there. Not enough prey. Yeah. Steve, it might be a countryside thing, but there's just the bloodlust I don't get. I don't get why it's good ripping animals to bits. I'd quite like it though one of these days if those posh wankers who go round on horses could get chased all around the place by council house lads on scrambler bikes with guns and just see how they like it, because I've got, there's loads of Scouse mates of mine who would love to be well up for that, genuinely. I would love to see that. Turn it on its head. Let's see how quickly the bugle gets thrown away. Mind you, that means something different in Liverpool, yeah. Fox is another animal you don't have in South Africa, yeah. Posh Wankers is the name of your band. I'll come and see you this week. That's the kind of punk band I want to go and watch. Yeah, a city of 8 million people and foxes are everywhere in London. You see them all the time. It is crazy, but they are right in the middle of the city and quite openly just bouncing around. They're not scared of anything. Yeah, is there anything else in South Africa that would fill that niche? I think you need to be careful with filling niches in South Africa with animals, because not that far away, obviously not that far away, it's probably thousands of miles, but there are things that would fill that niche quite easily. Lions and tigers and all kinds of mad shite in Africa, isn't there? Wish there was more of them. You had a family of foxes, Carl, and they used to use your garden in Manchester for sunbathing. Proper mank foxes. That's what we want to see. Yeah, so you have jackals, stray dogs. That's what you need to be careful from, I suppose, in Lots of parts of Africa, they will have wild dogs and painted dogs and all them ones. Mad, aren't they? They're the scruffiest looking things on earth, aren't they? The jackals and the stray dogs. Duolingo doesn't help you learn to communicate. No, it certainly doesn't. You've got to practice it with conversational. That's the main thing. Again, that's the reason why I ended up being fluent in Dutch, is because I was just talking it constantly with people. And if I was getting it wrong, I was being told where I went wrong. I was learning the words and sort of how to put them together in school. But then just being out in the street afterwards, it makes you fly through it. It's brilliant. Immerse yourself in the language and the culture, and it soon seeps in. Yeah, best falls in North Wales, definitely. Steve, you once found 30 hens' heads in a pile of sand after a fox got into a coop. Jeez, 30. Must have been a hungry fox. Golden jackals, man. Yeah, give the hunters pocket knives and let them hunt honey badgers. They are mental and things, aren't they, honey badgers? I've seen a couple of them taking on about 4 lions, and the lions are shitting themselves, thinking, what on earth is going on here? Get them away from me. Hyenas as well. I know Kev used to do that question, didn't he, on his little interviews. What animal would you be? I am a hyena. I'm convinced that all hyenas are scouse as well. Straggly looking things that are just laughing all day long, and that lions want no part of. Yep, somewhere for Spencer to visit, definitely. Make sure you take him to North Wales and let him see that gorgeous place, especially the falls. Take him to Llangollen as well, gorgeous. Probably see more raccoon dogs than foxes here. We didn't realise raccoon dogs were a thing until you mentioned them. Well, I didn't anyway. Golden jackals don't look scruffy. Right, so they look in between foxes and wolves. I've never seen one of them. Ewan, how you doing, mate? How's things? You alright? You don't have normal badgers. The honey badger's not a badger. No, I don't even know what it is. It's just, I think it's made up of the remnants of every evil little creature, just thrown together, stapled together, and then filled up with angriness and thrown in the middle of Africa, where there's predators everywhere. Go and look after yourself, and they do as well. Crazy things. Kirsty's a cat. Yep. Jeff's a bit quiet. Do you know what he is, isn't he, so far? Mind you, he normally kicks in on the hour mark, doesn't he? Honey badgers are definitely ferocious. Hyenas are browbeaten by the females. That is also a very Scouse thing. If you see Scouse women, you understand why. They don't take a backward step. Yeah, Barnes, it is a universal thing, but particularly I think a lot of the Northwest ladies, yeah, you don't want to mess around with them. They take no shit like that. Actually, do you know what? Sod it. Let's go and see what Jeff's up to. Working as an apprentice in Gordon Ramsay's restaurant, he never shouted at me, despite the fact that you're getting your spelling wrong, dickhead. Paramedic activity. So he's been a paramedic as well. Put your cloven hooves in the air and wave them like a necromancer. Used to be a DJ. Jeff, man, you've got one really warped history, man. How old are you? We never asked that, have we? We need to work out how old he is. How old's Jeff? He's at least 700, isn't he? Crazy, man. Crazy. Yeah, don't mess with Mackie's workers either. And don't argue with a proper Welshman. Yep. They're the same. I think that's probably a lot where Scouse mums come from, is the Welsh and Irish influence. Don't mess with them. I know Bill Kenwright, the the Everton chairman who died recently during one of the Hillsborough, um, one of the yearly Hillsborough things at memorials at Anfield. He said the same thing about the sun and the people that were trying to sweep it under the carpet. You took on the wrong people. Don't take on Scouse mums, because the Hillsborough mums just did not give it up at all, and they kept on going for decades until he got the justice. Yeah, he's got a really diverse CV. He's done all kinds of stuff. I'm going to have to ask him exactly what his age is. He is at least 700 years old, so he must have seen some stuff. Yeah. Your mum was 5 foot nothing, we didn't argue with her. Yep. 5 foot nothing seems to be a thing, doesn't it? My mum's 5 foot nothing as well. She said when she left school, she shot up to 5'2". I said, what do you mean shot up to 5'2"? No one shoots up to 5'2". You just become 5'2". Bruce Lee learned everything he knows from Jeff, including be water, my friend. Or be like water, wasn't it? Form yourself to whatever you are with inside. Water, if you put it in a glass, it becomes the shape of the glass. If you put it in a teapot, it becomes the shape of the teapot. Be like water, my friend. Jeff taught him that. Jeff knows these things. And yeah, I'm not surprised Gordon Ramsay didn't have a go at you. You don't have a go with demonic presence in the kitchen. What did he make? Was it deviled eggs? Yeah, especially if they're a redhead. Scouse redheads do not mess with. They are incendiary. Is that why he's blue? Could be. He could be watery. He could be part of the sea. He could be global warming as well. Be like vodka. See, it's the same thing. That's the kind of thing that Bruce Lee might not agree with, but Jeff is right behind. Jeff looks like he likes a bit of vodka. Did Jeff raise his parents as well? Jeff raised everyone. Jeff raised us all up. He's done some. I need to make some shorts about Jeff as well. Get him out there into the rest of YouTubia, which I've decided is what the land of YouTube is called. YouTubia. Wax on, wax off is your life philosophy. Smooth, Jack, smooth. Scouse redhead, Sonia, yeah. Oh man, how annoying is she? Considering how many fantastic bands and artists have come from Liverpool, and she was the one that ended up making it. She looks like she should have been back on the tills at the quick save, to be honest. She'd have been better off staying there. Yeah, and red hair is a very Celtic trait. I've got a tinge of ginger myself. I come from a line of red-headed males. Don't cross a Celt. They definitely hold a grudge. As you can see, if you go to Northern Ireland and they're still fighting over a war of 400 or 500 years ago, whatever it was. Yep, you and blondes are just very pale redheads. Although a lot of redheads will tell you the strawberry blonde, which is just not. There's no such thing as strawberry blonde. You're a redhead. But it's not redhead, is it? It's spun gold, as my mate said. Ah, Scylla. Oh, another absolute knobhead. The professional scouser who disappeared down south as soon as she could. But fair play to her. She made a career out of very little talent. Did help, of course, that she was mates with, obviously, some of the Beatles, the Searchers, and people like that. Scylla is of Welsh descent. In that case, wouldn't that make her Cilia? Had a week your dad had pitch black hair but was paler than your mum. That also seems to be quite prevalent in Ireland, especially, isn't it? Pale skin pure black hair and blue eyes, which is a strange combination, but works very well. As obviously a lot of people like that end up being models or actors. Seems to be a very striking look. Your mum's grandmother Saf was smiling, and because of her, you all have reddish hair. Yep, it's in your genes, mate. It is in your genes. You don't get rid of that. That continues. Had a week you are just field mouse brown. Oh, but brown is nice. Field mouse brown. Is that on the chart? When you go in, can you ask for that at the barbers? Just described your dad. Yep. That again seems to be quite a Celtic thing. Your dad was way too short to be a model and didn't have blue eyes. Oh. Whereas mine does. He was 6'2", blue eyes, and was an athlete. So I suppose, man, he couldn't be a model. Have you seen the haircuts that he had in the 70s? Oh man, the proper ginger afro, crazy. Although that's the kind of thing that if he did it now, he could. I think he'd get away with a look like that. It'd be very retro, but yeah. You've got the rare eyes, green. They are very rare. They shoot an evil look with the best or worst of them. Are you related to Jeff by any chance? Jeff hasn't got green eyes. It's normally blue or red with him. But yeah, green good for shooting an evil look. I think that must be something that's drilled down from the Celtic days. So Kirsty, your dad was Scottish, but your mum's side is Irish. That is a hell of a mixture. Absolutely hell of a mixture. It is. An evil look is something to treasure. If you can do it right, it's a work of art, an evil look. When you had there, Steve, it was mouse brown, but a gingerish beard. Why? How does that work? I mean, I've seen it with loads of people. I've seen people who are blonde, almost black, brown hair. As soon as you have a beard, there's loads of ginger in it. Is that something that's in our DNA from years ago? Where does it come from? But that it seems to be I mean, mine. There's more grey in mine than anything nowadays, but it just seems to be a thing. That gingerish beards. 6'2", eyes are blue. He's coming for you, Bobby Moore, Bobby Moore. There used to be 6'2", eyes are blue. Big Jim Holton's after you. He was a Man United player. My dad played against him. Yeah, 6'2" was big back then. Nowadays you've got goalkeepers who are 6'8", like 2'4" or whatever. Mad. Man, you don't know what colour your eyes are. Greeny, bluey, grey. Yeah. There are plenty of people whose eyes change colour as well, isn't there? Steve, your wife's got green eyes. It's good that you know that. Don't be a homer where he doesn't know what colour Marge's eyes are. You need to remember these things in case you get asked. And also, if they ask you what their favourite flower is, don't say self-raising, because I think they're on about, roses or something. She worked security, yeah. You were told you shot someone a look one night and everyone in the vicinity took a step back. That's what we like to see. The don't mess with me look, and then everyone gets onto it straight away. Had a week your dad had a tiny bit of ginger hairs in his beard. I'm sure we all do. It must be this. It's a masculine thing. It must come from somewhere deep within us. Are we related to foxes? Is that where we're from? Is that where it comes from? We all have it. We all have that little bit of ginger. We have the tinge of ginger. Kirsty, your granddad on your dad's side was German, but your grandma was Scottish. There's a lot going on there. There's a hell of a lot going on in your family. But it's good. We need to do that. You need to move the genes around, because if you don't, we end up in a lot of trouble. 20% Scandi DNA, Steve. So you are 1/5 Viking. That's what we like to see. After inhaling certain plants, your eyes turn red. Yep, Saf. Would they be poppies at all, or certain Jamaican plants? Is that the ones we're talking about, or are you actually allergic to stuff. If I inhale tree pollen, my eyes go red as well. Casper, your sister's DNA test said 20%, 21% Welsh, Scottish and Irish. That is the triumvirate of Celt. Very good. Duncan Forbes. I know that name, Norwich. When did he play? What era? Just seems to be a name I remember. You're just generations of poor Brabant farmers. Brabant boeren with only one adventurous forefather in the 18th century who was abducted into slavery by the Barbary pirates when he became a sailor. That's a hell of a story for the family, that one. Nothing wrong with being farmers, especially not Brabant farmers. Good hard work, that's what we need to see. We need to see more of that. Kirsty, your eyes are meant to be hazel, but you can get a green tint, according to a lot of people. Is that just a little bit of evil coming out with you occasionally? Does it glint? It flashes? The same kind of Carlin evil waiting to come out? Yep. They're weird brown. Plants of the Jamaican variety, I thought so. You don't want to be allergic to especially stuff like that. That was the only exciting family history bit. I bet you everyone's got more exciting family history, but they don't know about it. Someday I want to go back and have a look at our family tree, but I'm worried about what we'll find, to be honest. I've got a sneaking suspicion I come from a long line of footpads, vagabonds and ne'er-do-wells. And there's some German involved in our family as well on my mum's side. So, with me uncle Jimmy Hitler. Only joking. If you're pissed off, Kirsty, they're meant to go a bit more green. It must be that. Must be that coming out, definitely. Yeah, and it might be the weed that's causing it, Steve, you're right. You might have ingested that much of the stuff that it's chlorophyll in your system. I haven't made a cup of tea or anything today. Well, speaking of which, don't forget, if you like your coffee and you're in the UK, Charcoal Coffee Company, fantastic stuff. Make sure you get onto them. The link is in the description below. Our good mate Adam. Your nan's twin sister was forced into the convent when she got pregnant after being raped by an American liberator in World War II. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that doesn't end up in the books, does it? Jeez, that's horrible, that. Horrific. And again, something that I bet you it has happened hundreds of times, if not thousands of times. The people that were there, supposed to be helping you, ended up just also causing bedlam and chaos, because war is war, and you just end up, everything goes out the window, doesn't it? Morality goes out the window during wars. Casper, your great granddad was 5'1", granddad was 5'6", and your dad was 5'9.5". You're 5'11", so you're going up a hell of a lot. A foot in 4 generations. I think my granddad was 6'2". My dad is. My granddad's brothers or uncles, wherever they were on whatever side, were 6'8", 6'9", and stuff like that. So, on my dad's side of the family, there's a huge amount of tall people. Man, no, not sponsored by Adam. Just trying to do a favour for a mate, make sure that people are aware of the fact that he makes some great coffee. As we all look after each other in this community, so, you know. And I still need to speak with my mate about a sponsorship, actually. I haven't seen him since you mentioned it. But I think that was for the podcast rather than the YouTube channel, but we shall see. If Lemsip are watching, I'm still drinking that, so send me loads of Lemsip and Greys, I'll be quite happy. Alright, so on the dad's side, you'd only trace back as far as the Indonesian slaves who were brought there. Your mum's grandmother fled the potato famine with her parents and sister. That's why there's Irish absolutely everywhere in the world. The famine, they saw them just dissipate to the 4 corners of the earth, normally via Liverpool, which is why we've ended up with a massive Irish community, and Barnsley will tell you the same for Manchester, huge Irish community. where they come in and started working on the boats and the canals and what have you. The navvies that built the canals, but they all went all over the world. Crazy. Never got to see the child. Only got out of the convent when she was in her 70s. She found love in the nursing home after that. That's good to hear, at least. That's a horrific story, though. It's absolutely terrible. And yet we don't appreciate how good we have it these days. And we should appreciate it more because we are lucky. The things that other people have been through to get us to the point where we are now. I mean, World War II, I've mentioned a couple of times here. What them people had to go through to get us to where we are. I mean, we're in a place now where we should be in a place where it's safe. But it's not because we're letting too much go. But it's a lot safer than it was. Casper, you've got a picture that shows your great-great-grand. That was quite a bit taller than your great-grandfather. It's mad, isn't it? Much love from Vegas. Much love back to you. Thank you, Susan. Kirsty, you grew up in an Irish area of London. London's got loads of Irish communities as well, haven't they? The huge Irish communities. Andy Innes lives in Vegas, yep. We've seen some of her stuff on Instagram. Seems to be doing well over there, thriving as well. Which we like to see. Yeah, the nutrition was terrible back then. That's something which we have. We get all the food which is available all year round that we used to get probably for the space of 2 or 3 months back in the day. Now, no wonder people are getting bigger. The nutrition's so much better. There we go. Here's Jeff. Can you keep an ear out for the front door? I'm expecting a new bone crunching machine to be delivered, and horn polish. At least he's looking after himself. Fair play. No worries, Jeff. Carlin, yeah, am I getting your name right, Carlin, or is it Callan? Obviously, as soon as I see it, I think Dutch, so for me it'd be Carlin. We're in Vegas in 2019 for the Rugby Sevens. Yeah, the US are quite into it's rugby union, that isn't it? Quite into the rugby union in the US. Although I know there's quite a few of the Super League rugby league players and NRL rugby leagues who play for the US, so they must have a team as well. Obviously, I don't think they're going to be that good at the moment, but if they're getting decent Pacific Islanders, Polynesians playing for them, hopefully that'll. Tonga were no good at one point in Fiji, and now all of a sudden absolutely amazing. Yeah, so many changes so fast. When your mum married in 75, she was by law fully financially dependent on your dad. Women couldn't have a bank account back then. It only changed in 1978. It is crazy. And now women can pretty much, in most places, do whatever they like, become whatever they want. It's fantastic how much has changed. And being someone who's got a daughter myself, that would not like to have been brought up in the environment that we used to have. I mean, even that back 78, it's crazy. Susan, you've lived there since 1973. Good year, 73. Lots of good stuff happened in 73. So you're off to LA again for the Sevens in February and March. I can't stand rugby union, to be honest with you. The Sevens I don't mind watching, but I'm a pure rugby league person myself, being a northern lad. Your mother's mother is quite tall for a woman, born in the 30s. She's nearly 5'8", that is. Don't polish your horn too much, Jeff, you'll go blind. Yeah, good advice. He does seem a bit of a rampant horn polisher, doesn't he? Your granddad came to the UK between the First and Second World War. Yeah, tried to escape what was going on over there, and wise move. And again, loads of stuff changed back then. It's the reason why Alsatian dogs are called Alsatians, not German Shepherds, because Alsatian doesn't quite sound as bad as German to someone who's gone through a world war or 2 world wars. So you worked the LA and London Sevens for 3 years, but no London this season. That's a shame. You worked the League World Cup in 2022, Warrington and St Helens. I'd have loved to have gone to them, but Obviously, I couldn't. Absolutely fantastic. I love me rugby league. I started watching Widnes in the mid-80s. They're only 89 miles away from where I used to live in South Liverpool. So that was the local team for me. And it happened to be the team that had Jonathan Davis and Martin Afire and people like that in it. So absolutely incredible. And I've been watching ever since. So in Denmark, an Alsatian is a Schäferhund. Yeah, we couldn't call it a German. Couldn't have a German anything. Just wasn't allowed after the wars. It's mad as well being Remembrance Sunday. There's been loads of war films on the TV, so I've been getting wired right into them. I watched Albert RN yesterday, which is based on a true story of allies that were escaping from a stalag by building a dummy that they used to carry around with them, so that when they had head counts, if anyone was escaping, they wouldn't get missed. And the fella who built the dummy, the genuine dummy during the Second World War, also built the dummy to be used in the film. And it's fantastic. Albert RN. The D is silent. Schäferhund. The D should be silent everywhere you go. Right, so you call them the Deutscher Herde, which is a German Shepherd, isn't it? The Dutch for German Shepherd. Yeah, over in the UK, they got rid of that name. You couldn't have German anything, so it got changed just to Alsatian. Whereas people still call them German Shepherds, but the official name got changed. You worked the Union Men's World Cup in 2015, under 20s and 16, Women's World Cup in the 17, and the Sevens World Cup in 18. The women's rugby is insane, genuinely insane. Some absolutely incredible players, some massive girls as well, smashing into each other. No fucks given whatsoever. Not worrying about the bodies at all. Obviously the same as the fellas, but if you watch it, you'd expect, they're going to pull out the tackles. It's not going to be as intense as fellas. Jeez, it's every bit as bad. You're watching the Forgotten Battle yesterday about the Battle of Schelte. I've never seen that. Or if I have, I've forgotten about it. Yes, Steve, I have watched the remake of Operation Mincemeat. I watched that not too long ago, actually. It's a fantastic story, that one. I love that. And I also watched the original that was on last week, I think it was. The old black and white film. Absolutely amazing. Some of the stuff that happened during the wars, like there was that entire company that was put together to mess around with the Germans' heads, who were building fake tanks in the desert near Alexandria, weren't they? It's absolutely crazy what they got away with. Right, so it's in the UK in 2025, the Women's World Cup. Again, union's not my style, but fair play to them, you don't have to get stuck in. Yeah, German Shepherd is the proper name, and it should be used. And now no one gives a shit about the war anymore, so it should be back. Anyone seen 1864? Only the Kronenberg, the beer. Right, so it's a Dutch film from a few years back. I will have to check that one out and then see whether or not I can follow the subtitles without really needing them. Yeah, both are great films, Steve, they really are. The new one, I was surprised just how good it was, and really good casting, that one as well, isn't it, the new one? Yeah, Mandy, definitely not that old, not old enough that you were around in 1864. Jeff might have seen in 1864. He was there. They were originally called Kraut Demon Dog. That was before they became popular. Saf, no worries, mate. Thanks for turning up. You got a big day ahead of you tomorrow. Well, hope it goes well for you. Take it easy, mate, and hope to see you soon. Yeah, you're not old compared to some buildings. We are lucky. Again, we've mentioned this before on the live. We're lucky with how old some of the UK is, some of the buildings. We mentioned the castles, the North Wales castles. I mean, bloody hell. They are so old, and some of them are still in decent condition. They haven't all crumbled to dust. It's amazing. We've got history absolutely everywhere. Right, so there's Dutch, English, and German spoken in it, and thankfully I can speak Dutch, English, and German ish. I used to be fluent in 2 of those languages, and I could also speak a bit of English. Oh, yeah, be careful. Mandy's got the spanner, she can kick people out. Beware of the spanners. The special spanners. They have the power. You know what people are like when they get a bit of power. They get power drunk, don't they? Right, so it's a series about the terrible war you had with Prussia in 1864. You lost 30% of the country. Kids were forced to go to German school until most of the land was voted back in 1920. Crazy. Prussia, Germany. Germans at it again. Never happy, Hardy. Colin, you work with plenty of Spanish. Yep, I know the feeling, mate. Steve, you have levelled up to level 9 as well. Fantastic. We're all doing well here, aren't we? Apart from Mandy, who hasn't levelled up yet. But then she's way out in the lead because she's always here. But the points are definitely going up. Everyone's on huge amounts of points. Thousands of points here. Thousands of points and loads of levels. That's what we like to see. Yeah, it sounds like it's worth looking up that. I'll have a go with that as well. I think we should watch far more foreign films. We have a tendency, I think, it's either US or UK films that everyone watches, and there's far more than that. Definitely far more than that. And I like a lot of French films, but they are a little bit weird at times, which is why I probably like them, because I'm a bit weird as well. Nah, you're right, Mandy. You don't need to go. Only teasing you. But everyone's doing well. The points are definitely going through the roof, not just the levels. The points are going up as well. You can see. I mean, there's huge amounts. Yep, stay. Right, so it's 8 or 10 episodes of an hour each. That's doable. I've frozen. I thought so. Nope, definitely something wrong there, isn't there? No, definitely something not right there, isn't it? No, definitely something wrong, and I can't work out what it is. Is that working now? Yep. Am I back on? Is it working? It is. Brilliant. That's bizarre. I've had this a couple of times though. I might have to start messing around with cables at some point and making sure that they can't be knocked. I might have knocked something. Yeah. I know there's been a couple of times where I've tried to start streaming and everything's frozen and I haven't even touched anything, so very, very strange. But yes, buttons were pressed. Definitely need to watch out for buttons. But to hell with the consequences. That's what I say. Let's see if we can press some more. But yeah, cables. Oh, there's cables everywhere. See if we can press some more buttons.
But Kipper's Vindaloo can't be good for you.
And we'll go to Kipper's corner.
Kippers kicks ass.
Right, so man takes venomous snake home to show children and ends up in hospital. This is a learning curve for all, says a snake expert. No shit, Sherlock. After the hiker realised all was not well when he began vomiting violently before being rushed for emergency treatment. A man who found a snake while out hiking took it home to show his children, only to be rushed to hospital after being bitten. Dickhead. The father from New South Wales, Australia, believed the creature was a non-venomous diamond python when he picked it up, and was promptly bitten by the reptile. You're in New South Wales, Australia. Don't pick anything up, even the newspaper. So he took the snake back home anyway, assuming the bite had been harmless. I love this bit. He realised all was not well when he began vomiting violently and his hand became badly swollen. At that point he realised all was not well, triggering an emergency visit to the hospital. Yes, Kippers, fuck about, find out.
Kippers kicks ass.
It's just, why would you? If you are anywhere in Australia, do not touch anything that's remotely moving, because it will end you. It will completely end you. Yeah, how does he survive in Australia? How on earth does that? You don't touch anything. You had copperhead and black widows on site at the summer camp where you worked at. You know better than to go anywhere near them. Do not mess with them. Australia, how does anyone survive in Australia? Everything that's there wants to kill you, including Rupert Murdoch. A little bit of politics. Yeah, even ladybirds will kill you down under. Are they the normal ones or the black ladybirds? The goth ones, goth ladybirds. Back away slowly, very, very slowly. Keep your trousers tucked into your socks. Yeah, they've got the antidotes for everything in Oz. It's whether you can get to it all time, on time. That's again, Billy Connolly said, didn't it? Blue ringed octopus. If one of them stings you, you don't make it to the phone. Yeah. Come on, Botrix. Kirsty wants levelling up. He's doing his best. You only get one type of viper in Denmark. Yeah, those scary jellyfish, box jellyfish and stingers as well. He went on about, didn't he, Billy Connolly? Crazy looking things. Little blue ringed octopus. With they've got little blue rings on them, which are almost iridescent. That's the kind of thing that when you see them, you think or you should think to yourself, do not mess with this, it looks evil. And of course there's always some knobhead there with a stick going, let's see what it does. Do not poke the blue ringed jellyfish's nest. So you've only got the common viper there as well. I think we've only got a few snakes that we've got native to the UK. Adders, I think we've got, haven't we? Grass snakes and a few other little bits. Nothing too dodgy. Do not poke the blue ring. Definitely do not poke the blue ring. Mandy's got no clue how close she is to levelling up, which means that nobody's got a clue because you understand it far more than I do. It's chaos as far as I can see. But everyone's still earning loads of points, which I like to see. Shouldn't touch anything with a blue ring. Yep. Unless you're kinky and live in the Arctic. Adder is the only poisonous one. You've got to be careful. You have one venomous spider, but it can't bite through human skin, luckily. You've got a grass snake and a smooth snake there. Yeah, we've got the grass snake as well. Don't know we've got a smooth snake. Yeah, you're in the Irish Sea once, man. You know, you can see around you is jellyfish. There's a video and pictures, I think, from Liverpool, the Albert Dock, and it was the same thing. Absolutely, as far as the eye could see, it was just jellyfish. It looked, I don't want to say scary, but it looked like it was a different planet altogether. The Welsh for snake is neither. Ugh. You once bitten by an underwater spider, had we, when cleaning your pond and got a nasty blister from it. Spiders, they're only small, aren't they? But all the little ones can really do a bit of damage. Yeah, slow worms, we've got them over there, haven't we? They're little lizards, legless lizards. Again, we're coming up with loads of good band names here. The legless lizards. Denmark's waters are home to harbour porpoises, the smallest and most common cetacean in European waters. I think we get some of them as well. Obviously called harbour porpoises for a reason. The slow worm has ears and can throw its tail. Definitely dodgy. Yes, we need to find out whether or not the Maryland jousters dink blue rings. And if not, they should do. A legless lizard is not a snake. If anything, it's a snake. We haven't seen much of the Maryland jousters for a while, have we? I wonder what Buckford he's up to and all his mates. We have got some crazy little mad animals around, haven't we? Stuff that we need to watch out for. And probably stuff like that we don't need to watch out for. We'll be scared stiff thinking it's a proper little snake and it's not. Common seals, also known as harbour seals, inhabit the waters around Denmark. Yeah, often seen sunbathing on rocks near the shore. They love it. Alright, so ETS uploaded a compilation today. I've uploaded a few different videos because I've not got any notification at all. I know I've had a busy day, I've been out and about, so I've probably not seen much, but yeah, I'll have to watch that then if that's the case. Don't know why I've not had that notification, unless they have released a few videos, because as we know, if you've released 3 videos in a day, then your notifications stop going out to people. Which I think Daniel was quite happy to see, that it wasn't him and there wasn't an issue with it. It was just that's the way the thing works. Yep. Right, so it's 2 hours long, right? Well, definitely I wouldn't have thought anyone's had the time really to get stuck into that yet. 2 hours, that's a proper video, that one. That's one other thing to watch. Tomorrow, I might have to, I'll put that on my watch, to be watched, when I get loads of time tomorrow. Compilation of all Daniel's jousting videos from back in the day, brilliant. Bring back some good memories. Ring dinking, man, that's just absolutely insane. I can understand why a lot of the American parts of the Americas would love stuff like that. If they haven't got that kind of history themselves, they must be obsessed with sort of kings and queens and all that, the jousting and what have you. If it isn't on your doorstep, you do tend to be more interested in it, I think. The likes of us, we can go and have a bounce around the country and see all kinds of stuff, and we just forget it, we ignore it. Drive past Stonehenge like it's a McDonald's or something, and it's not. Peregrine falcons, known for the high-speed dives, can be found in Denmark. They often nest on cliffs and tall structures. Yep, tall structures also being skyscrapers in the middle of cities. They're another ones they've evolved to know that there's loads of pigeons and seagulls in cities that are getting big on fast food and stuff that's thrown on the floor. So they're making their way into cities, peregrine falcons. Absolutely ridiculously fast birds as well, haven't they? Has Dan actually been to a joust yet? No, don't think so myself either. It did sort of get pushed to the background. Same as the survival challenge. I think with a lot of the music stuff coming through and then his channel blowing up, I think possibly he's been concentrating on that a bit more. Yeah, Spencer was wearing his jousting t-shirt on the other day. I saw that as well. That put a smile on my face as well. I almost wore my Ninja Evolution t-shirt tonight, but obviously I was too late running around after Lady Miss Jess. You don't have skyscrapers there. Oof. Will still be some taller buildings though, won't there? You're probably lucky that you don't have skyscrapers. They have a tendency to ruin things. When does it count as a skyscraper? That is a very good question. Is there a law or a rule? How many floors? I think it used to be something like 13 floors. I was watching a programme on the liver buildings. Once it's over 13 floors, back in the day it used to be classed as being a skyscraper, which now if you look at how big these buildings are, it's ridiculous. And now in Paris you can only build up to a certain level. They won't allow you to build any higher because they don't want the views to be impeded. Yes, go and Google it, our resident Googleologist, I don't know, Googleologist. I barely speak today, it's terrible, I don't know. That's what happens. Go rabbit, go. Yeah. Our Duracell bunny. We've got loads of what now get classed as skyscrapers in Liverpool, and I think it used to be a heritage site, didn't it? United Nations Heritage, UNESCO, whatever it is. And they were talking about taking that away, the whole waterfront, taking that away from us because there's too many tall buildings. So again, it's the balancing act. Do you want to keep it the way it was, or does it need to be changed and more money needs to come into the city? So it's strange. Right, so it's different places in the US and Europe define skyscrapers. At least 150 metres, 490 feet. With super tall skyscrapers being 300 metres tall, yep. Mega tall skyscrapers being 600 metres, they are massive. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought Netherlands would want skyscrapers either. You've definitely got tall buildings in Rotterdam, I've seen that, but they're not going to be anywhere near as big as some of them. You don't need them either. You don't want to start ruining how places look by having bajillions of them. I mean, New York, that's the way New York looks. That's the way it is. So I think possibly the same with Chicago. But you don't really want to be ruining cities just by having massive buildings everywhere. Not every city anyway. And it was quick. Doing well there, Kirsty. Flying in, getting it sorted. That's what we like to see. Also, while we're here, before the stream disappears again, let's go and check out a Horace's haiku. See what he's been up to. I'm on the Lemsip. I've been shivering all day. Ebola virus. Ebola virus. Is that your version of man flu? Because that seems to be, he's got the sniffles, and now all of a sudden he's got the Ebola virus. Nah, not having it. And also, are you from Hull? Is that where the accent comes from? I've got Ebola. No, I've got Ebola. No, terrible. The highest building is in Amsterdam and it's 70 metres tall. Yeah, you don't want massive buildings in Amsterdam ruining the look of the place. For anyone who hasn't been, Amsterdam's a gorgeous looking city. Just the way it should be. Manhattan does look like a nightmare place. It's too built up, there's too much of it. Casper, you do have one building from 1969 with 30 floors. That will be classed as being a skyscraper, I would have thought. Building 2 wooden skyscrapers in Eindhoven. 90 and 130 metres. Crazy. Yeah, so 102 metres tall. I would definitely say that would class as a bit of a skyscraper. Yeah, Horace, very poetic. He's a poetic kind of chap as RH. The church is the closest you come to a skyscraper in your village. There's only 2 roads in the village. You don't want to start building up anything in places like that. Keep them the way they are. Much better. Not been in the dam since 2007. I've not been since 1984, I think it was. And hopefully not too much has changed. Surprising. One of the few Scousers who've not been to Amsterdam in the last decade. Seems that everybody in the city seems to go over there now and then. Steve, you've got all the symptoms of long COVID, even smelling cigarette smoke all the time. Oof. Hope you're alright, mate. That COVID shite's still around, still bad. Yes, it was a groaner from Horace, but classy, I think. You can be a tit and still be classy, which I think Horace really is. His sister lived in Amsterdam for 8 years. It's cleaned up a lot since the 90s. Yeah, I've got quite a few friends who have either been from Amsterdam or have ended up living there for a while. It's still fairly dangerous, but then every city in the world, every major city in the world has the capacity to be dangerous, I would have thought. Where there's a city, there's money, and where there's money, there's crime. Just no getting away from it. Doesn't matter where you go. Not many tall buildings by you, man. No, there isn't. But if you look out of the back garden or the front garden, whichever way you're facing, there is a massive, massive bump in the sky. That's Snowdon, a lovely little mountain. So you're lucky that way. You don't want buildings in the way of that. Being able to see a wonderful mountain range. Yeah, it's not that it's dangerous. Most risky thing is walking into a canal when drunk. That would soon wake you up, though. Fall into a freezing cold canal when you're pissed. Yeah, and do not walk into a bicycle path, otherwise you will get run over. You have to get out of Manchester, you hated living in a city. For some people, city living is ideal. For others, it's not right. I don't think I could live in the countryside, and I don't think I could live back in the city anymore. I'm quite happy living in the outskirts, the suburbs. But I get that. Some cities, especially places like Manchester, Liverpool, London, the bigger cities are just too hectic. There's nowhere to breathe and relax. Get out and go somewhere with a bit more green, even though there are loads of places close to us that we can go to. It's been cleaned up by an Australian with a magnet pulling bikes out of the canals. Yeah, actually I think I've seen something about that. And the amount of stuff that's been pulled out, not just bikes, all kinds of mad stuff, knives, guns, people. So the biggest city you lived in is Odense, the hometown of Hans Christian Andersen. 182,000 people in the city. That's a pretty alright size city, that, isn't it? Good football team as well. Yes, Kirsty, you live in London, you have quite a few tall buildings near you. Went to the old NatWest building. I can't remember what the name of it is now, but the Gherkin's next door, and we were taller than the Gherkin, so absolutely huge building. when they were the friend, and the views. I think Tottenham were playing at home that day when they were playing at Wembley. So you could see all the way across the city of London. The big arch was lit up. Glorious looking thing. The views were amazing. You lived in Eindhoven for 12 years. It's okay when you're in your 20s, definitely. Steve, you gave up in 1995? A long time, that, mate. Yeah, it's alright living in a city when you're in your 20s. You reach a certain point in life where I need to get out of this, I need space, I need a bit of quiet. Colin, you grew up in a wooded hill, with a wooded hill behind your house, and a wooded valley less than 5 minutes on the other side. That's more like it. Definitely more like it. I like that. Yeah, the room to breathe. That's exactly what it is. It's getting out and seeing something, something different. Just letting your whole body relax. You don't really get that much in cities. Yeah, you can take London for 2 days max. I'm the same. I used to have to go for 2 days at a time for meetings, and I loved it. And I've been to see my friend and stay for a weekend and things, but it's a little bit too much. It's too hectic. There's too many people. Mandy, you lived in Liverpool for a year and you liked it. Liverpool's a great city, I must admit. It can be dodgy like all cities, but it's definitely got a spirit to it. Kirsty, you've never been to the Netherlands yet. You will be. You will go there. Definitely. It's a wonderful place to go to. Fantastic country. Well organised and a bit boring. It's not. It's fantastic. 3 years living there and I loved every second of it. And Odense is Denmark's 3rd largest city. Yep. What we like to see. Colin, you worked in Liverpool for 3 years. Again, I think it's a fantastic place to work. I'll be 20 years in January in my job, which I love. Love the place, love the people. Casper, you grew up in a village with 250 people. Is that a village? Not even a village, is it? That's small, that, man. Netherlands is like one big suburb with some parks and a lot of farm fields. Yeah, I get it feels like that at times. But I like it. I like the way of life there. Some good people. That's what we like to see. If you're stressed, jump the garden fence and you'll be in a tree line in minutes. I'll be doing that constantly. I'll be doing the Great Escape. Seeing if I could do it. Creature of the woods and eating chill straight away in the forest. Yeah, there is something about that. There's something about the immediacy I find of forests. The smell of earth, the trees, the feel of bark and stuff like that. Just gets into you straight away. Mandy, yet you like the countryside too as well. Luckily, considering where you are, nice part of the country. You're always, if you want to go to Liverpool or Manchester, you can get there within 40 minutes or so, but you're in the middle of nowhere as well. Snowdon round the corner. Brilliant. And I suppose you'll have really nice dark skies, which if you're into sky gazing, stargazing, perfect. Yeah, where did you go to the gig with Hadwig? Yeah, and again, Hadwig, the same thing. It's only boring because you live there. You just, once you're in the middle of it, you don't realise how good it is until you get away from it and think, do you know what, I miss being there. Just between Aarhus and Aalborg. You went to Gelsenkirchen. Schalke 04 country. Right, so you're not in the city centre and not on the edge. You're the best of both worlds. As we said before, it's Liverpool or Manchester. If you live on the sort of the outskirts of it, are fantastic places. You can get anywhere you want to, and it's just good enough, chilled enough. Steve, couldn't pay you to live in a town or city. I completely get that, mate. Yep, Schalke, part of the Ruhr Derby. I remember that, watching them. Schalke 04. If you need anything from the city, you're less than 90 minutes drive from Manchester. Yep, easily done. Liverpool just up the road. Birmingham wouldn't be that far away. London's easy to get to. Nice a nice small country. Everywhere's easy to get to. Mandy's always on the edge. Yep. It's rained every day now since the 18th of October. Casper, have you moved from Denmark to Manchester? Yeah. Yes, Mandy, don't tell everyone it's nice there. You spent years convincing people not to come. Keep it for yourselves. It is lovely, though. As it's just down the... we know that's just down the road from us. My dad still loves driving around Wrexham and parts of North Wales. Whenever he has to do a Pass Plus test, he takes the kids to Wrexham, drives them down there, and then goes around some of the back roads as well. So they've got a little bit of motorway, a little bit of back road driving, and they love it. An hour from Penllyn and Innismon, Schalke 04, yep. I don't mind Schalke, good team, even though they're up and down all the time. Blind out for the rain, yeah. We're the northwest, famous northwest of England and northern Wales, renowned for the rain, as we said before in this, because of the Pennines and because of where we are. Loads of rain hits the northwest. Got warm, wet weather coming from the Gulf Stream, hitting cold weather coming from the east, and it just rains, which is why Manchester's constantly drenched. But the whole place looks fantastic. You're going to have to check out one of my thumbnails coming up for an upcoming live stream. I've done a fantastic thing, I think. Like with this thumbnail, it's sort of a version of a New Order album cover. So I've also done a Joy Division one, Unknown Pleasures, and I've managed to get the relief map of the Pennines between Manchester and Huddersfield, and make that look like the cover of Unknown Pleasures by Joy Division, and I'm calling it Unknown Pennines. And if I ever do merch, it's going to be an absolutely fantastic looking thing. I think it's superb. I really do. So keep an eye out for the thumbnails. They're going to get very music oriented for a couple of months anyway. Yeah, it always rains in Blaenau. Blaenau Festiniog. It's bossing it. My mates are all train drivers. The lads who drink in the VMH in Garston, all train drivers, used to drive on Merseyrail and then ended up getting jobs driving trains up and down North Wales along the coast to places like Blaenau Festiniog and Pemmermauer, and they love the names of the places. Good job as well, that. They're all on Piar Wedgelid. Yes, man, I am blowing that trumpet because I'm not going to say I put loads of hard work into it, because I haven't. I seem to be fairly okay at making fake album covers. So, yeah, but I really love doing it, trying to recreate an album cover in Canva. So if you have a look, in fact, I'll set up Tuesday's one and you'll be able to see what it looks like. It does look like the Joy Division album cover. And it isn't, it's Pennines, the Pennines, man. It looks fantastic, I'm so proud of it. So yeah, if merch is forthcoming at some point, Unknown Pennines is going to be one of them. I think it's a fantastic looking thing. Trumpet well and truly blown, because it deserves to at times. I'm not keeping my light under a bushel. If you've got a distorted view of Scotland, when you were there, you had 9.5 days out of 10 of sunny weather. Again, Scotland pisses down all the time, but if you come to the UK when it's sunny, you can go days, if not weeks, if not months, without seeing any rain at all. We've had in the northwest, Liverpool, Manchester was renowned for being constantly wet. A couple of years ago, there was wildfires on Saddleworth Moor. There was a hosepipe ban. It never rained for the best part of 2 months, I think it was. So it's the UK. Sometimes it's a flick of a coin whether it's going to piss down or be completely dry for 6 months. Casper, current town has 3,000 inhabitants and you get about 120,000 tourists a year. When you got on the UNESCO, the numbers 5 doubles. Wow, man, it's crazy. Just shows you that when you get that rating, it goes through the roof, doesn't it? One of your favourite places to chill these days is Nantes, Guredin. The atmosphere just changes when you get there. That's what you like to see. Again, I think parts of Wales, it's just such an underrated country. Beautiful. The UK as a whole is really, really beautiful. We don't give it the credit it deserves. But if you go to Wales or Scotland, you could be in Canada, New Zealand. It's incredible, absolutely incredible. Yeah, were you actually in Scotland? The ticket might have said Edinburgh. Where were you? Where were you actually? Yeah, it's definitely making up for it at the moment, Barnsley. It's absolutely ridiculous. The same in Southport, mate. It's just non-stop rain. But let's face it, the place looks gorgeous as a result. There's green everywhere. If you look up, you've mentioned it before, Saddleworth Moor must look absolutely incredible after we've had loads of rain and loads of sunshine. So, yeah. But I remember there was it seems to be the same way every time. As soon as there's really dry weather, people go to have barbecues in the middle of wheat fields and things. Why on earth have you done that? Seemed like a good idea. Well, you burnt down the whole of Cymru, you dickhead. Yep, amazing coastline. The UK, anywhere in the UK near the coast, I think is incredible. And it literally is north to south, east to west, everywhere. You can go somewhere on any of those coasts and it's amazing. The views are incredible, just the views of the sea. Stunning. UK weather is definitely schizophrenic. It is crazy. But you have to look at where we are. Again, I've mentioned this. We're on a level, we're on the same line of latitude as Newfoundland, Canada. So we should be freezing cold. We're not, because the Gulf Stream keeps us warmer. So we do have fairly mild winters, and it can get very wet at times. But again, if you have a look at us from a satellite, look at the UK and Ireland, absolutely pure green. It's gorgeous. And yet I still haven't been to Ireland. Right, so it's rain has been great for your veggies and fruit this year. That's why you've got 200 jars of jams and chutneys so far in your kitchen. That is heavy, that, mate. That is proper heavy. That's a lot. Good going, that, like, isn't it? Yeah, we might moan about the rain, but if we didn't have it, it wouldn't be green. We seen that during the last big. When was it? Was it a couple of years ago? Or was it last year? It wasn't last year, was it? A couple of years ago. We had that really, really long period of hot weather and it was dry. And the UK, which normally looks green, when you seen it on satellite photos, it was brown. Most of England was brown. It looked bloody horrible. Looked like it was burnt to a crisp. Denmark has 7,314 kilometres of beach. Mad that, innit? For such what looks like a small country, that's a hell of a lot. I know Norway is another place, isn't it, where it's got the longest coastline in Europe, one of the longest coastlines in the world because all the fjords and inlets. It's got a huge, huge amount of coastline. Not as many beaches, but yeah, that's a fantastic amount of beaches. Danes must be happy with that. As soon as it's nice weather, should we go to the beach? Which one? Jeez. Yes, when the apocalypse finally does happen, we're all moving there. That's what we need to see. Might have to move there myself when the waters rise and Liverpool and Southport disappear. I'll build myself a shack halfway up Mount Snowdon. Go bear hunting. There are no bears in Wales. I don't think so anyway. Mind you, there could be anything. There was a lion, wasn't there, in Italy, escaped. Was it in Rome? If it was Rome, it would have been perfect. Instead it just disappeared at the Colosseum. At least another 100 jars to go. That is proper. That's a hell of a lot of stuff you've done there. Should keep you going for a while. You've also got the world's longest fjord in Greenland. Fjords are great. I used to drive one, a Fjord Fiesta. We need to import bears first. I think we've got enough trouble. And there's enough cocaine in the place that you'll end up with cocaine bear for real over there. Yeah, you'll have a coastal property when the sea rises. Where I live, it's going to be like Atlantis, I think. They thought a lion escaped in Berlin, but it was a boar. Must have been a massive boar, that then. Oh, you've eaten all your aero melts. Terrible. I'm only jealous. And I never went to Tesco today to buy myself more naughty goods. Cocaine hippos. Yeah, hungry hippos. Don't want to be messing with them. You don't want to be giving them any... they are huge things, aren't they, hippos? They only look small next to elephants. But they're not small, they're massive and they're evil. Not much to worry about it. We'll get at least a decade's warning. And then at which point the whole place will just disappear off the map. Apart from maybe Meals Cop. I'll have to go as far as Penwitham or somewhere to stay dry. Yeah, you'll have to have a lie down now, Mandy. Before you start feeling ill. Lego and Arwen woke up and are pressing you to go for the walk. That means, yes, we are getting close to the end. You thought you had loads left. Well, you didn't. That's bad preparation. Fail to prepare to fail. Get yourself sorted out, or order in. Just Eat a load of chocolate. Yeah, we'll have to start getting close to ending this now, because we are. But yeah, blame me, but it's not me. It's Jeff. Definitely Jeff. I always blame Jeff. Jeff's a four-letter word. Colombia has declared war on the hippos in Colombia. Yep. Are they the Escobar hippos? Crazy. It's mad that Escobar decided to bring over so many of them and now just running free around the place. All kinds of crazy. The cocaine hippos, yeah. I know it wasn't Top Gear, was it? It was the Grand Tour. They went over there and tried to film them. Yeah, up Colombia fares better against the hippos than Australia did against the emus. The emus won that battle hands down, didn't they? Absolutely. Oh, but you've got loads of other chocolate. Right, so that's it. No more feeling sorry for you. I know aero melts are fantastic, but you've got other stuff, then no sympathy. The biggest invasive species, yeah. Must be mad just bouncing around Colombia and seeing hippos everywhere. Especially if no one told you they were going to be there. Madheads, absolute madheads. Anyway, yep. I think that's about it for tonight. Starting to feel it a bit, and I need me alcohol-free red wine because, you know, that's how I roll. And also I need to get this off because it's starting to get a bit warmer. I don't want to be doing that live on stream, do I? No one wants that. Yeah, so anyway, thank you very much for attending as always and for providing absolutely incredible content. I feel sorry for the people who don't watch this stream. We learn so much. It's fantastic. Yes, Obi-Wan. I've spent that much time with kippers and Horace that I'm turning into them. Well, to Rustin, enjoy your walk and the dog pee. And hopefully I'll see you on Tuesday. Thank you all very, very much. And remember...
All right, let's roll. Hey, let's be careful.